Hi, I'm Tria, and this is part 2 of the Design Mash, where I take all elements of Australian culture and mash them up. So I'm looking at 4 famous Australian pieces of literature. I'm creating an artwork for each one in a contemporary Australian way, and then from that I'm using that as an inspiration to draw out a textile collection, which will all be presented at an exhibition in November. Information's on the front page of the website, but this video is to talk to you about where I'm at halfway through with the artworks. So the first artwork I want to talk about is in response to Along the Road to Gundagai, which is a famous bush song from the 1920s. It was huge in World War II. It is basically about the nostalgia of being a sheep shearer and a drover and missing home. And they're talking about wanting to come home and seeing their family and friends. They talk about a track winding back and a little shack on the side of the track. So what I've done is put some colours for 2016, as well as the trend coming through of patchwork, very subtly into the painting. But I've also used elements like all of the names of sheep stations around Gundagai, which are still functioning today, and different parts of Australia. I've got the shack, I've got the local pub, which I think is at the heart of a lot of town life or country life. I've got the little outhouse, which is very Australian, and I've also got the dog on the tucker box, which is a statue that is in Gundagai today. And the story is that it was a very loyal dog to his drover. The drover left for whatever reason, and to the day the dog died, he defended the tucker box. There is a very rude version, which is actually that the dog S-H-A-T on the tucker box rather than sat on the tucker box, but we'll ignore that for now. It's very Australian. So this is what it looks like. I'm almost finished. I may or may not add a few more elements, but that is my response to Along the Road to Gundagai. And from here, there's quite a lot I can do from a pattern point of view. I will look at the patchworks, I will look at an architectural pattern out of the buildings of the era as well, and I may even play around with the wording of all the famous sheep stations that are out that way. Now for my second painting, it's in response to Banjo Paterson's Waltzing Matilda, which is again another famous bush ballad. However, I've put a really contemporary twist on it. So it's the story of a guy sitting under the shade of a coolabah tree. He's boiling his billy and there's a billabong there, and the jumbuck comes down. He grabs the jumbuck in order to steal it, which is a sheep. He wants to cook it for his tucker, so he puts it in his tucker bag, and the police catch him. And instead of wanting to go to jail, he throws himself in the billabong and kills himself. Very macabre. We like a bit of macabre here in Australia. And so that's the story of Waltzing Matilda. So what I have done is put it into a contemporary context. I've got a bit of bird life, a bit of flora, I've got the billabong, I've got the coolabah tree, I've got gum nuts, which are of course everywhere in the Australian bush. And this is where I'm at so far. I will probably still do a bit more work to it. I want to work a bit more with the stripes and add some more layers and depth to it. But I love the billy cans. I think they'll make a great pattern. It's very original, no one's done anything with that. I love the coolabah. I love the idea of doing a coolabah camouflage, again very Australian. And I love the gum nuts. So I'm already working actually on a silk scarf design off the gum nut pattern. And then my third painting, which I have just really started to mock the background in, is a Henry Lawson. Henry Lawson, unlike Banjo Paterson, didn't really romanticise the bush. He was a lot more of a realist, and he is well known for an Australian short story called The Drover's Wife, and it's about isolation and hardship. And this is the base coat underneath for this painting. I'm going to come back in over the top and then actually scratch back out of it so that the base coat comes through. I think to capture that essence of isolation and loneliness, it's going to be a relatively bare canvas with the scribbles of a scribbly gum coming through in the background. Again, I will probably have the shack in the middle of nowhere, and I'm playing with the idea of actually putting a little bit of Henry Lawson himself into the painting. So that's where I'm at, halfway through the Design Mash. You can follow my progress on Instagram at #TheDesignMash or on the front page of the website, sydneytextilecompany.com.au. That's it from me for now. Bye!